Whoa, slow down there, bud. You're going a little too fast. Hi, I'm Chris. I'm going to take you back to the very beginning where this bumper build journey started. And it's not going to be a short video, so crack a beer, quit your bitching, and let's go. It has arrived. Let's get on over to the shop and get started. Oh, it's pretty bad. And of course, here in Minnesota, it's cold as shit because it's winter time, and we're up in the toy shed. Little bro's playing the guitar. But damn it! Looks like Whistling Diesel got a hold of my truck. It stopped, bro. We just got through deer season, and that's basically what happened. I hit a deer. But that gives me an excuse to make her even prettier, because we got some goodies in the box back here. You already know what it is. So, after step one is done by pulling the pickup into the shed that is not heated, and it's cold as fuck, open the bumper box, make sure all the parts are in there. So there's an envelope in here somewhere. There it is. Sure. We have your receipt, the letter, over on the checklist, and some stickers, and this one's somewhere. So, I'm just gonna go through this. Read first. Before removing your factory bumper, ensure all move bumper parts are correct per packaging slip and instructions. Oh, that was a little bit of a battle, but I understand. It's all spray foamed in there to keep it nice and snug when it's shipped around. But all of the parts are in fact here for my 2008 Dodge Ram 1500 Laramie edition. Oh, by the way, the only welder I have is this ancient arc welder. I don't got a freaking fancy wire feed like some of you boys out there, so we're gonna get the job done with this old ass arc welder, because that's all I got. So on this particular truck, you just want to make sure that you take the wiring harness for the fog lights out, because they're both wired off of one wire obviously, and this one's first, and then that wire feeds inside the stock steel bumper to the other side, and it's got a series of those little plugs you got to pop out. But just make sure you take that wire out before you drop this heavy bumper, otherwise they're going bye-bye. And then in my case, since the deer screwed up my grill and the headlights, I need to put in the new headlights and put in the new grill before I can set the new bumper, because I want to make sure that everything is nice and square and fit right before I mount the bumper up, and then we'll go from there. Okay, we got the bumper off, so next step is to put the headlights and the new grill in so we can make sure everything's flush. But these plates here, these are the ones that'll stay, and then these here plates get mounted to that, and then your brackets come off of that to mount to the bumper. So we'll get there when we get there. Looks pretty neat like that. Or do we just leave it like that?
You, sir, would be a dumbass.
Well, we can't leave it like that then. So just following the instructions like a good little boy. We got the first mounting plate on. Also, before you start welding on your truck, just be sure to disconnect the negative terminal of your battery so you don't fry your computer and screw yourself over. No C for you. Yeah. When you don't have a magnet or a partner to help you, just make do yourself.
Please don't talk about me when I'm gone. Oh honey, so are our friendship ceases from now on. Please don't talk about me when I'm gone. Oh, honey, though our friendship ceases from now on.
Sweet! Now I just gotta, you know, hold it and weld it by myself. Oh, damn it. Come on. I want it to work so bad. Well, it's not gonna work. Does this thing freaking go up anymore? No, of course not. For fuck's sake. What am I gonna do here? Oh, I know. Aha! Oh, damn it. Ooh. Shit. Oh, then my chair fucking breaks. Oh. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Woo! It's still crooked. I got my little creeper with a backrest, a board, and my mallet that's holding this on, so I can kind of see what she's gonna look like here. But basically what I did on my particular truck is I got a measurement from the outside of this plate to here, you know, and just got it as close as I could both sides. And not to brag, but I naturally have a very, very straight eye. I do a lot of tile work, so I just naturally have a straight eye, and I mean, to me this looks pretty damn close. And I'm probably gonna tinker with it and measure just a few more times before I tack it, but it's coming together. All right, first piece is on. Next step is the side wings. Fuck. Why do I insist on doing everything by myself? Oh. Bad stick. No. Come on, truck. I'm just trying to make it pretty. I hope no one has to go through that. When you do a bumper build, make sure you bring a buddy. All mine are busy. So, since I have my fender flares, I'm gonna kind of wedge this one out a little bit, or maybe in, I guess, because I don't want it to stick out any further than my fender flare. If your truck doesn't have fender flares, then you know, you can do whatever the hell you want because it's your bumper and it's your truck. Yeah. Looks pretty good for just eyeballing it. I really like how that sits on my fender flare too, because I've seen some builds where it pokes out a little bit. I'm not judging, I'm not hating. This is just my build, my truck. So I wanted it to be the way I wanted it to be. It still kind of sticks out a little bit there, but I don't know. I do like that. That looks good. I'm gonna move on to the other side. Basically the same exact process as this. I hope you have a friend so it's not so much of a struggle as it is for me. Not to say that I don't have friends. Alright, this looks pretty good. So, you saw the braces, or I mean, I should say the mounts, the main bumper, the wings, the end cap, I guess you would call it. Now I'm gonna do the fillers. These two pieces here. Okay, got those fillers in intact. When you get these two, this piece comes down and it overhangs this seam, and don't get freaked out by that. It's to make it, you know, flow with the grill of the truck. So you'll just weld a bead along there and then sand it down to your liking. So now the next step is the pre-runner, big rock bar. Damn, I gotta back up a little bit, looks pretty good. So I just tacked this on. I'd recommend this for everyone. Just throw a quick tack on. No, it's not gonna be like that, but now that you have it set, you can look at it from every angle, you know, and kind of figure out if you want to bend it a little more and tweak it. And then after you do that, grab yourself a metal marker or a Sharpie like I have, and draw your line around, you know, around the pipe so you can get it to the best angles that you can. Have some fun with your angle grinder and make her fit. Yeah, I'm cheating, but I'll finish the angle with the grinder probably, because I'm sure this isn't gonna get it perfect. It usually never does. That's why you shouldn't cheat, kids.
This cut is fresh.
Make sure the hood's still open. Because man, that would suck. Good thing I only tacked. Oh yeah, fucking plenty of room. Daddy like. So we're back a few days later because I was on a little trip and didn't have time to finish it. I climbed behind here and I did finish welds just on the mounting bracket so that way the bumper was solid so I could drive around. But now I'm going to remove the headlights, take my old welding coat, lay it over this, and I'm just gonna do some of the finish welds here on the front so that way I know that it can't flex much here. Then I'll pull it off, tack the backside, and then slowly do the finish welds piece by piece so I don't warp the metal.
Please don't talk about me when I'm gone. Oh honey, though our friendship ceases from now on. If you can't say anything real nice, it's better not to talk at all, is my advice.
I'm going to take it off and do the other side. Alright, that wasn't so bad. So, it's time to do the other side quick. Just gonna kind of slowly do one side at a time, or one piece at a time, and do this here. Go to the other side, do that piece, come back, do this piece, go to the other side, do that piece. Phew! It's really freaking cold. Shit. Okay, so I got all the finish welds done on the inside. Did every other so it wouldn't warp it. Didn't heat it up too much. Now, the next step is to mount these fog light holders. You'll have 4 of these if you have 4 holes. If you only decided to have 2 holes, you'll have 2 of these. If you had no holes, you'll have none of these. Moving on. So, this bracket here, we mounted just like this. And then this next piece here, after this is on, will be mounted like so. So you'll kind of want to follow the profile of your bracket here, and this the side wing, so you can kind of see this angle here will match. And then your fog light will get mounted in either of these 3 slots. It'll be your preference to know how far or close you want it to be away from the hole. All right, I got all the fog light mounts welded up like so. And those two over there. And I took my one that I have open and I tested it and all the holes. It all works great. So now what I'm gonna do is take the grinder, make a couple of the welds pretty in there, knock all the slag off so it's ready to be painted. Then I'm gonna take the bumper, put it back on the truck, and then mount these here winch hook mounts or tow hook mounts. All right, fits back on the truck just fine, no warping at all. Still fits nice and snug. I left off these extra runners here. I like the way it looks better with just the one in the middle. We also got the heat coloration, so we know that we got full penetration. So it's nice and strong the way it's supposed to be. So all of that is done. Probably gonna take the grinder to some of these because some of them aren't perfect, I will admit. And the last step is to put these tow hook mounts on the bumper, and I think I'm gonna put it right where this where the bracket goes to the frame, right there for the most strength. Okay, we're back. Got the bumper all welded up and sanded, made it look pretty. Now we're gonna go ahead and paint it. Last night up in the other shop that isn't heated, I threw a coat of primer on the back and it stuck pretty good, but I wanna make sure it's gonna stick really good. So I went ahead and came to the other family shop, which is in fact heated, and it's so much nicer in here. But the only reason I couldn't weld this up in this shop is because I don't have 220 hookup for my welder. So we couldn't do it in this shop, but we are gonna definitely paint it here because it is quite a bit warmer. Also, if anyone caught this earlier in the video, I wrote this on with permanent marker because at the time I only had it tacked up and I had to drive to work the next day, and I didn't want any of my coworkers to be like, how come you only have a weld there and there? How come your welds are spotted? How come it looks like shit? Well, maybe that's because I'm not done yet. And as far as paint and supplies, here's what I got. I got this primer by Rust-Oleum. The color, if you open up your vehicle door, you'll have a sticker on there telling you your paint code, and you can match that at your Napa or whatever auto parts store you go to. But this is duplicate original Chrysler color, Dodge Chrysler, so it should be great. And I have also used this exact stuff on my fender flares. Turned out just fine. Matched perfect. This is the clear coat I've used pretty much my whole life on every project, so I trust this brand. So this is what I'm using. And if it doesn't turn out good, I'll just have it sandblasted and powder coated. I'm not too worried about it. Anyway, sandpaper, this P320. This is super fine grit stuff that I found in my drawer. That's what I'm gonna use to primer, or buff the primer a little bit. And I'm only gonna really do that once or maybe twice, because again, I'm not too worried about it. But it's gonna be an adventure, so let's go. Man, I could sure use a tripod. Oh, there we go. The things you do for the YouTube. This here is what we call a fume hood. Right about there, that'll do. All right, we got a few coats on. It's been a couple hours, so I'm gonna go ahead and take this here sandpaper, lightly sand it down just a wee bit. Okay, got all the dust off from buffing, and I went ahead and put on one more quick coat of primer, let it dry for a few hours, and now I'm going to start the white. Well, I had to run to Napa and grab some more paint, and I also picked up a freaking mask, even though the project's already almost over. But now I don't have to do it with my shirt anymore, so this should be good. Alrighty, got her all painted white. Now we're ready for the clear coat. Let it dry overnight, and then I'm gonna slap it back on the truck, and then we'll hook up all the fog lights and see how pretty she looks. Alright, we're back. We let it dry, put it on the truck, and I am totally in love. Let me start off by saying move. They know what the hell they're doing. Everything was cut perfectly. It all came together nice and square on the truck, and I'm absolutely in love. So this is what it looks like. I mean, I was able to do this with my old ass arc welder and 6011 rods, and I mean, it turned out perfect. I also got the fog lights mounted up, and these have daytime running light rings just like this here. And this model truck does not have daytime running lights, so I had to wire it onto my old fog light push knob, and every Dodge owner knows what I'm talking about. The light switch here, so I'm gonna push that in, turning on my fogs. But it's actually now my daytime running lights, which looks freaking sick. I need to hurry up and go to a truck meet before I get this thing dirty. But the actual fog light itself will be on a toggle, on the toggle panel, where all my exterior and interior lights will be, so it'll all be cleaned up. But here she is.